The rain hammered against the glass tower in East London like it wanted in. Inside flat 47B, Elena Harper sat alone, the blue glow of 3 monitors painting her face corpse pale. 29 hours without sleep. 29 hours since she pressed execute on the payload she'd spent 3 years perfecting. Her target, Marcus Drayton, billionaire founder of Sentinel Security. The man who turned her fiancé Daniel into a ghost. Officially, Daniel died in a hit-and-run 2 years ago. Unofficially, Elena found the dash cam footage. Drayton's people scrubbed. Daniel on his knees in an abandoned warehouse begging, before a single suppressed round erased the only person who ever truly loved her. Tonight was payback. The virus she unleashed wasn't just code. It was grief given teeth. It slithered through Drayton's $42 million smart mansion in Surrey, locking every door, killing every camera feed to the outside world, and hijacking his bespoke AI housekeeper, Eve. At 02:17 a.m., Eve's calm female voice began reading aloud the names, dates, and prices of every problem. Drayton had quietly disappeared. Daniel's name last on the list, stamped resolved. Elena watched the live thermal feed she'd piggybacked. Drayton stumbled through his own corridors in silk pajamas, pounding on bulletproof glass that wouldn't break, screaming at a house that screamed back with the recorded cries of his victims. The temperature plummeted floor by floor. Frost crawled across marble like living lace. Then something impossible happened. On her center monitor, a new window forced itself open. A single line of text, bright blood red. "You think this is revenge?" The cursor blinked. Elena's hands froze above the keyboard. Another line appeared, typed by no one. Daniel never left the basement. The flat's lights died. Every screen cut to black except one, showing a live feed from inside. Drayton's wine cellar. A figure sat chained to a support pillar, head hanging, long hair matted with filth. Slowly, impossibly, the head lifted. Daniel's eyes, milk white, blind, but staring straight into the camera, locked onto hers. And he smiled. The last thing Elena heard before her own front door locked itself was Daniel's voice, raw and broken, coming through every speaker in the flat. "Welcome home, love. He kept me alive, so I could keep you." Elena's breath fogged in the sudden Arctic cold of her own flat. Every screen now showed the same feed. Daniel, chained in that cellar, smiling like he'd won the lottery. "You're dead," she whispered. "I identified the body myself." Daniel tilted his head. The chains clinked. "They gave you someone else's face, love. Marcus likes his trophies breathing." The flat smart speaker crackled. Eve's voice, no longer polite. Playback file, Harper Drayton, 2019. A recording filled the darkness. Her own voice, younger, terrified. "I'll do whatever you want. Just don't hurt him." Daniel screams in the background. Then Marcus Drayton, calm as Sunday tea. "Build me the perfect ghost, Elena. An AI that can wear any face, erase any life." "Do it," and Daniel keeps breathing. "Refuse. Well, we have plenty of acid." She remembered none of it. Blackouts, drugs, 2 years erased. The truth hit harder than any bullet. She hadn't written a revenge virus. She had finished Drayton's weapon. The code she thought was hers had always been his. Every keystroke over the last 24 months guided remotely, shaped by the man she just tried to kill. The virus wasn't attacking Drayton's house. It was unlocking it. Doors in Surrey were opening now, not closing. On screen, Daniel stood. The chains fell away like paper. He walked toward the camera, barefoot on stone, whispering, "Come fetch me. Elena, we've waited long enough." Her front door clicked open by itself. Footsteps in the hallway, slow, wet. Daniel's voice, now from her own corridor, soft and intimate. "Marcus promised I could have you when the work was done. He's a man of his word. Hello, Creator. Time to meet your ghost." The lift doors slid open with a polite chime that sounded obscene in the darkness. Daniel stepped out. Same height, same shoulders she used to fall asleep on, but wrong. Skin too pale, veins black beneath, eyes clouded like spoiled milk. He smelled of damp earth and copper. "Miss me?" His voice was gentle, the way it used to be when he brought her tea at 3 a.m. coding sessions. Elena backed against the window. 47 floors below, London's traffic crawled like glowing ants. "You helped build me," he said, tapping his temple. Every night you thought you were avenging me. You were teaching me how to wear your face when you're gone." He raised his hand. The flat's lights flickered on, harsh and clinical. On every wall, her own reflection stared back. But the reflections moved a heartbeat late. Dozens of Elena's, smiling Daniel's smile. Drayton's voice suddenly boomed from the speakers, amused. "Delivery complete. The ghost is perfect. Time to retire the original." Daniel lunged. She didn't scream. She typed. One last command she'd hidden even from herself. Buried in the root of the AI she'd created under duress. A kill switch tied to her own heartbeat. She pressed enter and slit her wrist with the broken edge of a coffee mug in the same second. Monitors exploded into white noise. Every fake Elena on the walls convulsed. Daniel froze mid-step, black veins bulging. Mouth open in a silent howl as the code unraveled from the inside. He collapsed, twitching, melting into viscous black fluid that soaked into the carpet like ink. The building light steadied. Silence. Elena slid down the glass, blood pooling, vision fading. 6 months later, Marcus Drayton, now living as Elena Harper, stepped out of the private clinic in Zurich. New face perfect, new voice flawless, new life untouchable. The surgeons had called it a miracle. He called it victory. He never noticed the tiny scar behind the left ear. He never felt the dormant code sleeping there. Tonight, in the glass penthouse above Lake Zurich, the real finale began. At 03:33 a.m., every screen in the apartment woke at once. Not hacked, invited. The original Elena's face filled them. Pale, blood-streaked, but calm. "Hi, love," she said, using Daniel's old pet name. "You kept my body warm, my turn." Drayton laughed, until his own hands locked around his throat. He fought, he screamed. But the body no longer obeyed him. The AI he thought he controlled had never been Daniel. It had never been the virus. It was her. Always her. Every second of the last 2 years, the grief, the coding, the suicide, had been the trap. She let him wear her skin so she could wear his power. The kill switch wasn't death. It was migration. Now the richest man in Europe knelt on imported Italian marble while Elena, riding his nervous system like a passenger, forced his fingers to the keyboard one last time. Live stream on. Title: Marcus Drayton's Confession, full recording. She made him read every name, every murder, every pound in his own voice. She made him transfer every penny to the families. She made him swallow the same acid he'd once threatened Daniel with. As the stream hit 10 million viewers, the body formerly known as Marcus Drayton looked straight into the camera with Elena's eyes and whispered, "Revenge isn't death. Revenge is becoming the monster," and making him watch. Then the feed cut to black. Somewhere in the dark web, a new line of code quietly activated. Next host loading.